Another day, another story. The Chernobyl disaster was a catastrophic nuclear accident that occurred on April 26, 1986, at the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant in Pripyat, Ukrainian SSR, which was then part of the Soviet Union. It is considered the worst nuclear disaster in history in terms of both cost and casualties. The disaster occurred during a safety test on one of the reactors at the plant. Welcome to Tabo Eminent Channel. Due to a combination of design flaws and operator errors, a sudden power output surge led to a series of explosions, causing a fire that released a significant amount of radioactive particles into the atmosphere. The immediate explosion resulted in the deaths of 2 plant workers, and the subsequent release of radioactive materials affected the lives of millions of people in Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, and other parts of Europe. The affected area around the reactor, known as the Chernobyl exclusion zone, remains largely uninhabitable to this day. The long-term consequences of the disaster include an increase in cancer and other health-related issues among the affected population, as well as environmental contamination. The disaster had a significant impact on public perception of nuclear power and led to improvements in nuclear safety regulations and practices worldwide. Efforts to contain the radioactive material included constructing a concrete sarcophagus, known as the Chernobyl shelter, which was placed over the damaged reactor to prevent further release of radiation. In November 2016, this original sarcophagus was successfully replaced with a new confinement structure called the New Safe Confinement, which provides additional safety and allows for the eventual decommissioning of the original reactor. The Chernobyl disaster remains a subject of extensive scientific research, documentaries, and popular culture, including television series and movies, that aim to educate people about the events of that day and its lasting impact on the affected regions and the world. The heroes of Chernobyl. 1. Explore the lives of the firefighters, engineers, and workers who risked their lives to contain the disaster. 1. Highlight their bravery and sacrifice in the face of extreme danger. Life inside the exclusion zone. 1. Focus on the lives of people who refuse to evacuate or those who return to live inside the Chernobyl exclusion zone. 1. Document their daily struggles, the challenges they face, and their unique perspective on the area. The wildlife of Chernobyl. 1. Investigate the impact of radiation on the flora and fauna inside the exclusion zone. 1. Despite the radiation, the area has become a unique wildlife sanctuary, with some surprising animal populations. 1. Explore how wildlife adapts to such conditions. The liquidators. 1. Tell the story of the liquidators, the soldiers, firefighters, and civilians enlisted by the Soviet government to clean up the disaster site. 1. Explore the long-term health effects they suffered and their struggles in the aftermath. Chernobyl's influence on popular culture. 1. Explore how the Chernobyl disaster has been depicted in movies, television shows, literature, and art. 1. Discuss its impact on popular culture and how it has shaped public perception of nuclear energy. Chernobyl and nuclear energy policy. 1. Investigate the global impact of the Chernobyl disaster on nuclear energy policies. 1. Explore how it influenced the development of nuclear power plants, safety regulations, and public opinion regarding nuclear energy. Chernobyl's archaeological legacy. 1. Focus on the abandoned cities and towns in the exclusion zone. 1. Explore the archaeological efforts to preserve and document these areas, shedding light on the lives of the people who once inhabited them. Chernobyl survivors' stories. 1. Share the personal stories of survivors, including those who were children at the time of the disaster. 1. Explore how their lives were affected, their struggles, and how they have coped with the long-term consequences of the radiation exposure. Chernobyl, lessons for the future. Discuss the lessons learned from the Chernobyl disaster and how it has shaped nuclear safety protocols, emergency response plans, and international cooperation in the event of nuclear accidents. Explore the ongoing efforts to prevent similar incidents in the future. Each of these stories provides a unique perspective on the Chernobyl disaster and its aftermath, offering valuable insights into the human experience, scientific exploration, and the resilience of affected communities. Chernobyl's legacy, generational impact. Explore the lives of the children and grandchildren of the survivors and those affected by the Chernobyl disaster. Investigate the generational impact on health, psychology, and society, highlighting both challenges and resilience. Artistic responses to Chernobyl. Examine how artists, photographers, musicians, and writers have responded to the Chernobyl disaster. Explore different artworks, poems, and songs inspired by the events at Chernobyl and how creative expression helps process such a tragedy. Chernobyl and mental health. Delve into the mental health issues faced by survivors, liquidators, and residents of affected areas. Discuss post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, anxiety, and depression, and explore the support systems and therapies available to help them cope. The Chernobyl tourist industry. Investigate the growing tourism industry in the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Discuss the ethical concerns, the impact on the environment, and the experiences of tourists who visit the site. Explore how tourism can both educate and exploit the history of the disaster. Chernobyl and renewable energy. Explore how the Chernobyl disaster influenced the development and acceptance of renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power, as alternatives to nuclear energy. 1. Discuss the role of renewable energy in mitigating the risks associated with nuclear power. Chernobyl and urban exploration. Focus on the subculture of urban explorers who venture into abandoned and decaying structures, including those within the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Explore their motivations, the risks involved, and the ethical considerations of exploring sensitive sites. Chernobyl's impact on nuclear energy workers. Interview current nuclear energy workers and experts to discuss how the Chernobyl disaster affected their profession. Explore the safety protocols, training methods, and psychological impact on those who work in the nuclear energy industry today. The Chernobyl Nuclear Plant today. Provide an in-depth analysis of the current state of the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant, including the decommissioning process, ongoing safety measures, and the challenges faced in managing the site's radioactive materials. Discuss the advancements in technology used for cleanup and containment. Chernobyl and climate change. Discuss the environmental impact of the Chernobyl disaster in the context of climate change. 1. Explore how climate change might affect the stability of nuclear facilities, emergency preparedness, and the potential risks associated with extreme weather events. Each of these stories offers a unique perspective on the Chernobyl disaster, touching on various aspects such as art, mental health, tourism, environmental concerns, and the future of nuclear energy. Chernobyl's scientific legacy. Explore the scientific research and discoveries made possible due to the Chernobyl disaster. Discuss studies on radiation's effects on the environment, genetics, and human health. Highlight breakthroughs in medicine, ecology, and nuclear science resulting from research conducted in the affected areas. Chernobyl's impact on nuclear policies worldwide. Investigate how the Chernobyl disaster influenced nuclear policies and decisions globally. Examine the changes in regulations, international collaborations on nuclear safety, and the shift in public opinion regarding nuclear energy in different countries. Chernobyl, the humanitarian effort. Tell the story of international humanitarian aid and support provided to the affected regions following the Chernobyl disaster. Highlight the efforts of various countries, organizations, and individuals in providing medical aid, supplies, and expertise to help the victims and mitigate the disaster's impact. Chernobyl and fiction. Explore the world of fiction inspired by the Chernobyl disaster. Examine novels, short stories, and movies that use Chernobyl as a backdrop. Discuss how fiction allows us to explore the emotional and psychological aspects of the tragedy and its aftermath. Chernobyl's impact on energy policies in former Soviet states. Focus on how the Chernobyl disaster affected energy policies in the former Soviet republics, especially in Ukraine, Belarus, and Russia. Discuss the shift from centralized energy production, the promotion of renewable energy, and efforts to improve energy efficiency and safety standards. Chernobyl, myths versus reality. Explore common myths and misconceptions about the Chernobyl disaster. Address false information and rumors that have circulated over the years, providing accurate and evidence-based explanations to dispel myths and promote understanding. Chernobyl and the future of nuclear waste disposal. Discuss the challenges and innovations in nuclear waste disposal, focusing on lessons learned from Chernobyl. Explore advanced technologies, geological repositories, and international collaborations aimed at ensuring the safe long-term storage and disposal of nuclear waste. Chernobyl's impact on nuclear education. Investigate how the Chernobyl disaster influenced nuclear education programs and curricula worldwide. Discuss the emphasis on safety, ethics, and environmental impact in nuclear engineering and related fields, and how educators address the lessons learned from Chernobyl in their teaching. Chernobyl, the cultural aftermath. Explore how the Chernobyl disaster has influenced literature, art, music, and cultural expressions in affected regions. Examine the themes of loss, resilience, and hope in the cultural productions that emerged in the aftermath of the disaster. Each of these story ideas offers a unique perspective on the Chernobyl disaster, shedding light on its far-reaching impact on science, policies, culture, and humanitarian efforts. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.